Greetings, one and all, to the most cursed, most cringiest corner of the internet. A YouTube channel content creator actively alienating everyone in both the analog and digital world. Well, welcome and good evening, you wonderful dice of all alignments. I am Lunar D8. Starfinder 2nd Edition GM Core. Written by Jessica Catalan, Thurston Hillman, Jenny Zapsky, Mike Kimmel, and Dustin Knight. Tell your story in space. Get ready for an adventure your friends will never forget. As the Game Master, you're the director of your own epic space adventure, and your friends are the stars. You'll need conniving villains, exciting chase scenes, cinematic starship battles, and bodacious loot to turn your Starfinder session into a galactic adventure. Starfinder GM Core is here to help you with every part of the game, including guidelines on story structure, tips on creating thrilling encounters, tools for world building, and exciting new subsystems like hacking and cinematic starship scenes. It even contains tips for mixing Pathfinder and Starfinder content to create anachronistic adventures. Starfinder GM Core has everything you need to become the best game master in the galaxy. Basically, this is Pathfinder, but in outer space. I suppose you could also mix Dungeons and Dragons into this as well. This is the 2nd edition book. Just wanting to find what year. Don't know what year this was made. I can't find that either. Oh well. There's a table of contents here. I can come back and read that later if you guys want. But for now, I suppose we could hop into me struggling to not have the pages stick together. Is that... okay. Introduction. The focus of every Starfinder game is the player characters. They're the stars of the show and appear in every scene that plays out in game. Okay, I'll read this table of contents after I finish the introduction, okay? But what about those scenes? What stories are being told? What old legends are being discovered and what new ones are being forged? Who are the villains, the allies, the traitors, the lovers, the monsters, and the gods? Who runs the galaxy? When you're the game master, that's all up to you. Okay, we'll come back to this. We'll read the table of contents. Okay, we have the introduction. And then on page 6, we have running the game, which is separated into special considerations, running encounters, running exploration, running downtime, difficulty classes, and rewards. The second section is building games, campaign structure, adventure design, encounter design, variant rules, afflictions, environments, hazards, building creatures, building items, building worlds, building settlements. The third section is the packed worlds. Abalin, Castroval, Absalom Station, Akiton, Verces, okay, I thought the Adari, the Disapora, the Eox, the Triaxis, the Liavara, Brethida, Aposte, Polonus, Near Space, the Vast, the Plains, Species, Threats, Factions, Religion. Fourth section is Subsystems, which is Victory Points, Influence, Research, Chases, Infiltration, Hacking, Cinematic, Starship Scenes, Vehicles. 5, Anachronistic, adventures, time-shifted adventures, archaic adventures, anachronistic creatures, anachronistic gear. Then we have a glossary and an index. Okay. Back to the introduction. The Game Master. In Starfinder, the Game Master, often abbreviated as GM, is the player who narrates the story and describes the galaxy the other players are exploring. When you're the GM, you take on the rewarding role of crafting fun experiences for a group of your friends. Your responsibilities include telling the story of the group's adventures in a compelling and consistent way, fleshing out the galaxy in which the game takes place, emphasizing the fantastical and futuristic while grounding it enough in the real world to feel believable, entertaining the players and yourself with novel concepts and rewarding creative ideas with interesting outcomes, preparing for game sessions by building or studying adventures, and creating characters and plots, improvising the reactions of non-player characters, NPCs, and other forces in the galaxy as the players do unexpected things, making rules, decisions to ensure fairness and keep the game moving forward. Though the word Master is in the GM's title, Starfinder is a collaborative experience. Your role as Game Master is one of adjudicator and moderator. But it doesn't mean you can control everything at the table, especially not the players and their characters, nor does the role require mastery, either of the rules or of the setting. You'll need to understand the game, but you don't need to have every rule memorized. When everyone shares the goal of having fun and telling the story together, the details will fall into place. How to use this book. The Starfinder GM Core is one of the central rule books for Starfinder, and it provides guidance on building and running whatever fantastic and futuristic stories you wish to tell. The book also gives information on the Starfinder setting. Rules, variants, and tools allow you to customize the game. From chases and hacking to vehicles and cinematic starship combat, lastly, the book provides tips for running a smooth game of Starfinder. Starfinder as a game is all about customization, and this book provides you as the Game Master. You guys remember Jak and Daxter for the PS2? Sorry, I got distracted. Ways to customize your game, just as a player customizes their character. The toolbox nature of the GM Core makes it easy to select whatever parts you need for the game you're running at any time, especially in the building games and subsystems chapters. As with any toolbox, you won't need to use everything at once. Choosing your tools. Perhaps you're a veteran GM who's looking for new ways to tailor your game to suit your interests and those of your players. Or perhaps you are a brand new GM looking for guidance to feel comfortable leading a game of your own. Maybe you've been a GM for years, but this is your first time running a Starfinder game. No matter where you are as a Game Master, this book is a valuable tool that can help you tell the stories you want to tell with your players. I'm a new Game Master. Chapter 1 can help you better understand how to run a game in different modes of play. Set DCs, give out rewards, adjudicate the rules quickly and fairly, and adapt when special circumstances or problems crop up at your table. This chapter also contains advice on using and determining rarity in your game, working with your players to create a collaborative story, and adapting your game to meet the needs of the players at your table. I'm an experienced Game Master. Using the information in Chapter 1, you can quickly get up to speed on the fundamentals of running a game of Starfinder. Using the tools in Chapter 2, you'll be able to build precisely the option you need for any game. Using the variant rules option in Chapter 2, you'll be able to tweak specific elements of the game, from backgrounds to the entire mathematical underpinning of the game. to suit your preferences or the needs of a particular setting or story. You'll also find advice in Chapter 2, such as guidance to make encounters more dynamic, which can help you fine-tune your GM skills. In Chapter 3, you'll find details on the Starfinder setting. Chapter 4 offers a variety of rules, subsystems that provide a framework for specific endeavors and situations. I'm running a published adventure. You'll find guidance in Chapter 1, specifically for running published adventures. And most of the advice in that chapter about running a game applies to published adventures. The information in Chapter 3 introduces the galaxy that you'll find in Starfinder's published stories. Scenarios in the Starfinder Society organized play program and Starfinder Adventures use the subsystems in Chapter 4. The Victory Points subsystem is the most fundamental of these, but many adventurers also use the other subsystems found there for things like chases, vehicles, hacking, and cinematic starship combat. I'm making my own adventure. If you are looking to create your own Starfinder adventures, Chapter 2 provides you design guidance ranging from broad strokes of building an entire campaign to writing individual adventures to the particular considerations of creating an encounter. This chapter also provides a toolbox you can use to build the creatures, hazards, items, and other elements you want to use in your adventures. If you plan to create your own setting, the world building section of Chapter 2 can guide the process and help you establish the details you need. I forgot where I was. To bring your galaxy to life. You can also use the information in Chapter 3 to detail those parts of your galaxy. I'm incorporating Pathfinder. Starfinder is compatible with the second edition of the Pathfinder role-playing game. Chapter 5 provides guidance for incorporating material from Pathfinder into Starfinder, or vice versa. Anachronistic adventures, archaic adventures, and time-shifted adventures describe different ways to mix the game and setting, such as by pulling characters from Pathfinder into Starfinder or running Starfinder characters on a low-tech world or running a campaign about time travel. Ancient foes and ancient gear provide advice for using Pathfinder creatures and equipment in Starfinder games. Remember the first rule. The first rule of Starfinder is that this game is yours. The rest of the rules exist for you to use to tell the stories you want to tell and share exciting adventures with your friends. There are plenty of rules in this book, but none of them override that first rule. Take the rules that help you make the game you want. Change those that don't do quite what you need them to. And leave the ones that aren't helping. It's your game. There's no right or wrong way to GM so long as everyone is having fun. And that includes you. Campaigns, adventures, and encounters. The rules and advice in this book frequently refer to three main structures of a game. A campaign is your group's game as a whole, a serialized story consisting of one or more adventures. Each adventure tells a single story arc with a beginning, middle, and end. It includes many interactions, challenges, and encounters. An encounter is a single showdown or contest between the player characters and their foes or other non-player characters. Okay. And next time we'll have Chapter 1, Running the Game. We'll go and end the video there. I hope everyone enjoyed it. It's a big book. Other than that, imagine how long it would be if I ever started a series where I started reading the light novels of like Reincarnated as a Slime or Overlord. Then again, I'm just too impatient that I want to read Volume 17 and 18. Volume 17 was supposed to come out last year. And Volume 18, I don't know if it'll ever come out. Probably by 2030. Volume 18 is supposed to be the last one. Volume 17, because technically Volumes 15 and 16 cover what's... Because everything's been animated in the movies and the TV, the anime seasons. Up till that point, 15 and 16, it's Ainz, Aura, and Mare and their trips into the Elf Kingdoms and stuff. Volume 17 is supposed to be basically Nazarick goes to war against the slain theocracy to slaughter everyone in that entire kingdom. And keep in mind, earlier, Riesti's kingdom got basically wiped. But the main reason for going after the slain theocracy in Volume 17 will be because at the end of Volume 16, when Zeshi fought Mare and lost, Zeshi was recruited Nazarick, but she did get her mind read. And it was during that they found out that it was the slain theocracy that brainwashed and manipulated Shaltir. So, and of course, Volume 18 will probably, it will be the ending of the series, but it probably will let us see some interesting things. Like maybe during Volume 17 we might even know what's going on with, like how Ainz wound up in this new world and what's going on with the physical world of Suzuki Sasataro. The Satoru Suzuki Zaka. However you say names. Satoru. The human who plays Momonga. Okay, got distracted. By the way, Dot Hack 0 is supposed to come out in 2027. Looking forward to that game. That should be good. Also in Nanta, it's like Grand Anime Grand Theft Auto. Okay, I'm going to end the video. Bye.